Welcome to Past the Wire TV, your #1 source for horse racing news and interviews, handicapping analysis, betting insights, and more. Past the Wire TV covers the biggest races at the best tracks.
Garnet and Luis Saez to win the Belmont Stakes at Saratoga.
The Grey Wizard is absolutely flying. Champagne won. The Grey Wizard. Oh, it's very close. Leave it to the judge.
Like, share, and subscribe to Past the Wire TV. Nobody does it better.
Come on now. Royal Ascot, notable speech, Past the Wire TV. You know we were going to have it. Remember, knowledge is not free. You have to pay attention.
You're watching Past the Wire TV.
Big horse, but light on his feet. And he's always showed up and been consistent and been right there with some of the top horses in training. In the Bluegrass Stakes, he showed his determination and his raw ability.
It's over! Zandon wins the Toyota Bluegrass!
I feel breeders will be really blown away by what a striking, outstanding looking horse he is.
Thank you for visiting Past the Wire TV, the YouTube channel of PastTheWire.com. Ciao, everybody. Salute. It's that time of year. Royal Ascot. Love it. Love the meet. Love the racing. Love the atmosphere. And most of all, love the wagering opportunities. You know, if you go back in the history of this sport, you've got a lot of big days, okay? Derby Day, Belmont Day, Travers Day, Pacific Classic Day, Big Cap Day. I mean, Haskell Day. I don't want to slight anybody. You. So many big days. Melbourne Cup, Arc de Triomphe, but certain meets have that boutique, elite, uber, ultra status. Royal Ascot is at the top of that list. It's a meet that anybody who's in this game wants to win at, whether you're owning, whether you're training, whether you're riding, and whether you're betting. Royal Ascot is Royal Ascot. It's an unbelievable place to go. You feel it as soon as you walk in. And it's just a phenomenal meet with great, great, great racing. I've been betting it for years, and I love it. I've been getting asked repeatedly, you know, why don't you do anything on Past the Wire with Royal Ascot? So ask and thou shalt receive. You asked, here I am, here we are, and we're going to do a little preview of day one and probably do a couple of other previews and maybe a recap when all is said and done, and see if we can pull some takeaways from Royal Ascot for horses to watch later on in the year at some of the big races and at maybe the Breeders' Cup. Now, when I say meet, it's a short meet, 5 days, whatever it is, real short. You know, Keeneland in the spring has maintained that status. Breeders' Cup, even though it's only 2 days, they usually add a day or two beforehand. So it's almost like a little mini meet. Saratoga used to have that status, but they watered down that meet so much by extending it. It's still, you know, special soil to walk on if you're involved in this sport. But the meet has lost some of its prestige. Del Mar, same thing. that's why I give a little bit of a shout out to Keeneland, and they've got their reasons. They got the sale, they got other things going for them where they don't have to. So they've never extended that meet, and it's kept that high quality boutique status like Royal Ascot has. You look at Off Day and some of these other. You got a day. Epsom Derby, you got a day. Even though you got the Epsom Oaks, you got the the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby, borderline boutique meets. But Ascot is definitely, without a doubt, one of them, and at the very top of the list. Notable speech, a horse that after I saw him run for the very first time, I said this is one of the better 3-year-olds. He proved that, upsetting City of Troy at 16-1. He's certainly not going to be 16-1 in the St. James Place, but he is running. We'll get to that in a little bit. But we're going to start with the first Group 1. I got an opinion on that race, and a lot of you have told me that when it comes to the Euros, you like my input. I love the Euros, and there's a number of reasons for that. But these European races, you get so much out of watching replays and watching these horses run and getting to know these trainers that it's just a tremendous edge if you do your homework, because there are so many people that don't really do the homework, and the ones that do, they kind of sort of half-ass it a little bit, and you can't half-ass this game and expect to win. It's just not how it goes. You got to put in the work and put in the time, and I love doing it with the Euros, especially now the Ascot meet. They've got good past performances on Formulator. Some of these meets, especially the France meets, good luck getting good past performances for those. You better rely on the replays because their past performances stink. Ascot is fine, so you don't really have to worry about that. Ashpet, thirsty, it's hot, Florida. A lot of rain, a lot of heat lately. Okay, they open up right away with a Group 1 at a mile, but it's an interesting mile. It's a straight mile, no turns, no Wilson shoot, not even a shoot where it's like a 1-turn mile like at Aqueduct at Belmont. This is a straight mile shoot, which really, in reality, turns it into an elongated sprint. But you got a little bit of a hill, a little bit of that to deal with because the courses there, they're all configured differently. So, you've got to, factor that in. And horses that run there do have an edge. So when you get an American horse that goes there and runs well, you really got to tip their hat to them because the racing is so different. Very similar to one of their horses that has never run around a turn and now has to, run around a tight, fast-paced turn when they've only run straight. You got to give them, their credit where credit is due too. But there are 2 horses that really catch my eye in the Queen Anne Stakes. And I'll start with the one that I like better. I'm not going to go over every horse and do a rundown like that. We're just going to do a little preview and a couple of horses to watch. If you're betting these races, you better be up early in the morning. I think they're going to be televised on TVG. But we got an article up on PastTheWire.com that lists all the places that you could watch these races. Of course, you can bet them on where else? Amwager for sure. And you can check out all the latest promos that they have on Amwager, where you can bet Royal Ascot and just about anything else. So check that out and get up early in the morning. While you're up early in the morning, what should you be doing? You should be drinking short bet coffee. It may not make you win, but it definitely will not make you lose. Tomorrow morning, I will be up bright and early with my sure bet coffee in hand. But now to what else? Royal Ascot on Past the Wire TV. The Group 1 Queen Anne Stakes starts things off, and we're going bombs away right from the start. Now, mind you, these races usually are very, very big fields. Going a straight mile, obviously, the post position doesn't mean all that much. And it's a little tougher to get in trouble. It happens, but it's a little tougher, when you're going straight. Stay in your lane, and you'll be okay. For the most part, I mean, traffic always can converge in front of you, but you know the good riders navigate this one-turn mile very, very, very well. Now, there's a horse in here. Let me get to him so I can talk intelligently about him, and have his past performances in front of me. That just screams pointed for this race by William Haggis, who is very, very good at pointing for a race. Okay. The horse's name is Maljoom. He's an Irish bred horse. He ran third last time over this course at Ascot. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 races. 1, 2, 3. His last 4 are his last 3 are straight mile races. So he's very, very familiar with this type of configuration, and he actually ran in the St. James and had traffic back in 2022. He ran in the St. James, a Group 1, had some traffic that day, and then he's been kind of sparsely seen. He only had one start in 2023 where he was 5th in the Group 2 Dubai Joel, Al Basti Equiworld Dubai Joel at Newmarket. And then he prepped at Ascot on May 1st, where he ran 3rd. And now second off the layoff, Haggis runs him in this spot. He's 12-1 on the morning line. We know this horse can handle this course. He looks primed to go forward second off the layoff. He's gone forward second off the layoff before. He had a shot to win the St. James with the right kind of run 2 years ago. I don't think Haggis would bring him back second off the layoff in this race unless he specifically pointed for it with a horse that he felt was good enough to win it. And I do think that this horse on his best is good enough to win it. He won his first 3 starts. He was good enough to win the German 2,000 guineas in Germany. Those races are not easy to win over there. It's a little deceptive. Those horses often get overlooked. He came out of that race and ran into St. James a couple of years ago. I think this horse is going to be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-1, overlooked in the wagering, maybe a little less so now that we're talking about him. And I think he's sitting on a big, big race. And I think we're going to hear from him as we're coming to the wire. So Maljoom, he's number 11 for William Haggis. I think Thomas Marquand is an excellent rider, gets the job done. When he gets these big race opportunities, he's on the money. He rode this horse before with success, prepped him for this race, and I think the horse is sitting on a big one. So that's a horse I'll definitely be watching in the opener. And there are just so many ways to go and so many horses that are going to take a ton more money than him. And I think he's capable of being right there with them. So Maljoom is one that I will be watching. The other one that I'm going to be watching that's going to be even a bigger price, this one could be 20, 30-1 easy. And it's definitely dangerous to let any horse that was bred by His Highness the Aga Khan, who's got one of the best broodmare bands in the world, bar none. This guy treats his horses as good as anybody in the world. That includes Godolphin, Coolmore. Just forget it. Now here, he's got a horse that's really stepping up. Dolely, and I hope I'm saying that right, is a French-bred horse that he did breed himself, and the horse has only run in group company twice, but did not get disgraced. Ran in the Group 2 Prix de Mouget at St. Cloud, and then at Longchamp last time, ran in a Group 1, was only beaten 1 length. Before that, was in all listed races, always shows up, always holds his own, always tries, always digs in, and even though he's stepping up against much better than he's used to facing, I like the fact that he wasn't disgraced in that Group 1, and even though he didn't win it, they're moving him here at Royal Ascot into this spot, giving him a shot in the major leagues. Mikel Barcelona is a great rider in France, a little bit under the radar, a little bit unknown over here. This guy can ride anywhere. I think this horse is dangerous to make some noise at a big price. And let me tell you, notable speech a couple of weeks ago at 16-1 is not the only bomb that I have caught over there. I've been catching horses. I mean, some of you that follow me know the story of a couple of years ago where I hit that ridiculous bet that I don't like. The one bet I don't like over there is that, I forget what you call it. It's that ridiculous Quinella combination, stupid wager. But I caught a 25-1 shot and a 30-1 shot in like a 24 horse field. And I'm like, wow, this Quinella or what, I forget what you call it for the minute, is going to come back more numbers than I can count. And it came back a paltry $300 and something. And somebody explained why. It had something to do with our tote system only having a certain amount of numbers or whatever. I got robbed big time. It should have paid 30,000, paid like 300. So I don't like that bet. I don't make it, but they do have exactas and triples and things like that. And Dolely is definitely a horse that, in my opinion, for what it's worth, can definitely get in there at, like I said, 20, 30, 35, 40-1. Who knows what this horse can go off. And like I said, the horse is honest as the day is long. And I think he's definitely worth paying some attention to. So we got 2 bombs we like right off the bat. In the second race, the Coventry, I do like a horse who's not going to be a bomb, but the price is okay. It's an Aidan O'Brien, Michael Tabor, Coolmore horse, a Wooten Bassett colt out of a pivotal mare, Entreat, Camille Pissarro. And no, I am not partial to the Italian last name, but Camille Pissarro is another one that looks like, well, you know, with Aiden, he points here, you know, but this horse won his first start, got beat ahead in his second start, now moves here. You know, he's just got a forward move written all over him. He's facing a lot of horses that ran once. A lot of them can jump up and improve. Joseph O'Brien has one in there that looks like he can jump up and improve. He's got another one in there. And you know he's got to want to beat his dad on the big stage. But he's got another one in there that Oisin Murphy rides that, you know, looks okay. John Gosden has one. Appleby has one. So there's a lot of different places to go. The Appleby one ran a couple of times. I wasn't so much afraid of him. The Gosden horse ran once, got beat a neck on synthetic, now moves to turf. Ingot, Ingot, the 12 horse. That horse scares me a little bit. You know, Frankie's going to be there doing TV instead of riding, which will be interesting. We'll get to see Frankie doing commentating, which you heard it here first a long time ago when we had him on the show. But, you know, that's his next career. He's going to be the new Nick Luck, and probably a lot better, in my opinion, because he's got that experience and that personality that just has got, you know, racing media written all over it. So good luck to Frankie at Royal Ascot, doing some behind the scenes and camera work and stuff like that. But he'd probably be riding Ingot if he was riding there, but he's not. Schumacher is riding the horse, who does ride very well for Gazzale. That horse moving to the turf is a little bit scary, but he's going to really have to have his running shoes on, in my opinion, to beat Camille Pissarro, who I think is sitting on a big race and is going to get Aiden off the mark right away on opening day in the Group 2 Coventry Stakes. The St. James, always a great race. We got Notable Speech in there. 16-1 in the 2000 Guineas, upset City of Troy. We all know what City of Troy did in the Epsom Derby right after that. I told everybody who would listen, this horse hadn't even been on the grass yet, won its first race on synthetic. I said, this is a racehorse and a half. I thought, and a lot of you noticed that they may. I thought Appleby and Godolphin and Sheikh Mohammed would say, you know what? Let's run this horse in the UAE Derby and take a shot at the Kentucky Derby. I thought he was that good. He's now 4 for 4. His first start on the grass, he whooped City of Troy. I think he'll only get better and better and better. He's 3-2 on the morning line. He'll probably be 4-5, 3-5. If you didn't bet him at 16-1 when I loved him, and I did bet him that day, that was either Derby or Oaks Day. I forget. I think it was Oaks Day. Made my weekend and a lot more than that. But I don't think he's going to get beat tomorrow. I think we'll see again. And now, things reveal themselves. I thought he was a Derby horse, and I thought they would, run him and go for the Derby. But they didn't even go for the Epsom Derby. They're going here. They're keeping him at a mile. So obviously, there's a distance limitation there, or at least at this point they feel there is. Now, this race is also a mile, okay? But it's a completely different configuration. This is a mile where they start up here, they run right down, then they make a right turn and run towards the finish line. So it's kind of like a reverse L. Instead of an L going this way, and I don't know if I'm on camera if you're seeing it backwards, but it's a reverse L. It's down and then that way. So they come down and then they make a right turn, but it's 1 mile. So it's a one sharp turn mile. It's not a hook turn like we got. You know what I mean? It's not like the Gong Show, get the hook or the end of the cane and hook them in. It's a L kind of configuration. So that to me can be a little bit of a disadvantage if you're on the outside, turning into that straight. So that might be something to worry about. But with William Buick, worry about being in the right spot or the wrong spot when they make that turn? No, that's like worrying about Ryan Moore or Frankie being in the wrong spot. Probably not going to happen unless it's completely unavoidable. So Notable Speech, we'll get another test and a big test. You got Henry Longfellow in there, serious player. You got a bunch of serious players in there, but you got Henry Longfellow, who definitely catches the eye as one to fear. Again, I do like Notable Speech better. You got a horse named Darlinghurst in there that looks like he's extremely, extremely capable. Aiden's got a second one in there, unquestionable at 50-1. That horse, you may remember from the Breeders' Cup. He's 50-1. Should he be 50-1? I doubt it. But we're going to watch Notable Speech and see one heck of a miler, if not something, even more than that down the road. I would have loved to have seen him come here for the Derby. You all know that. But obviously they didn't think he was the one. We know how bad Godolphin wants to win the Kentucky Derby. Everybody does, but Godolphin really, really, really does. They've been trying to win it forever. I remember when they used to buy every prospect out there, from Come On Mom to a dozen others, just trying to win the Derby. But championships are tough to buy. Kentucky Derbies are tough to buy. So be that as it may. But those are the races we're going to look at for opening day. If you want more Royal Ascot, if you want some more previews, you want some more horses to watch, let me know in the comments so I know I'm not up here talking to myself. So put down there, And if there's any specific races you want me to do that are coming up over there, let me know. Otherwise, I'll pick the ones where I like something like I did today. But Royal Ascot on Past the Wire TV. You could bet it at Amwager. You can have a sure bet coffee while you're watching these races early in the morning. If you're not a member of Track and Trips, you gotta hate money. We'll have more Royal Ascot and everything else that we usually have on tracking trips. We added 2 new horses to the list this weekend. Had a little bit of seconditis this weekend with some of our horses to watch, but sometimes that happens. When seconditis goes around, it's an easy thing to catch. So, and I don't think a mask helps when it comes to seconditis. You just can't avoid it for whatever reason. Just when it gets you, it gets you. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. Royal Ascot on Past the Wire TV. A lot more coming, especially for the Saratoga meet. We're going to have our show Saratoga Saturdays. Every Friday it'll come out. It'll cover a race or 2 on Saturday. The stake races for sure, probably. Maybe a race or 2 during the week. News, behind the scenes stuff that we find out, ear to the ground, boots on the ground, you name it. Saratoga Saturdays. Watch it. We've been doing it every year. It's going to be Big Race Jim and I this year. We'll get Gio Setti in on a couple of the shows. We may get Charles Trenton on a couple of the shows. We may even get the 2-year-old Edgeman in on one of the shows. Who knows? A lot of things can happen. So ride with us. You'll never starve. Past the Wire TV. Thank you, everybody, and ciao for now.
They're off in the 2023 First Crop Sires race. Maximum Mischief makes the lead with the most 2-year-old maiden special winners by any sire. On the backstretch, Mitoli and Omaha Beach close the gap with stakes performers from coast to coast. Vino Rosso finds his best and leads on the turn with 4 Grade 1 colts on dirt. But it's Mitoli with his 3rd TDN Rising Star, your champion freshman, leading an impressive Spendthrift Superfecta.
With new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Go to drf.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Mini, a top 10 first crop sire in 2023, standing at McMahon of Saratoga. 14 first crop winners, including My Shady Lady, winner of the $500,000 New York Stallion Series 5th Avenue Stakes, Grade 2 winner Winstock, and Stakes winner Solo Shot. Solo Mini, the 7th leading freshman sire and the only top 10 freshman sire with a Grade 1 or Grade 2 winner. He sired a $700,000 2-year-old at the OBS April sale. His juveniles sold for nearly 6 figures on average, more than 12 times the stud fee. Solomini, a controversial DQ from being a Grade 1 winner by 2-time Horse of the Year Curlin, standing at McMahon of Saratoga Thoroughbreds. Sure Bet Coffee. Put the giddy up in your cup. Pick 6. King Jon Stettin. It's one of the best tools in horse racing for any level of player. It's your second set of eyes, spotting troubled trips, betting angles, track trends, horses to watch and favorites to fade, 10 figs, ticket structure, and more. At Tracking Trips, you're a friend with benefits. Not a member? You must hate winning money. Join Tracking Trips now. Visit pastthewire.com and we'll see you in the winner's circle. Remember, nobody does it better.
Does it better.